Hello, 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 I am Rangru,
And I'm Graham.
and we're here today with another slapping Wargame 1v1 replay from the Elite Bootcamp tournament. So, who do we have playing today, Mr. Graham?
So on the left-hand side here, in the blue, we have the GrapeJelly Man playing the Soviet Union General. And then on the right side here, we have Warner player, a.k.a. Blitzwar, OP, playing Entente Mech.
So a bit of red on red action. I'm thinking this is the invasion of Yugoslavia 40 years later than expected. So it should be pretty hot, but right off the bat we got the Harrows moving up, doing some reconnaissance. GrapeJelly Man actually going pretty heavy, Spetsnaz crew and what's it called, a Russian naval infantry in the KA-29s.
Yeah, he's going in pretty hot right there. He also left his CV outside of the main base in Delta for a second. So he actually allowed a little bit of a tick to go for Blitzwar, which is just kind of funny. But yeah, you see some GRU getting deployed into Foxtrot. Looks like VDV going into Gulf, and the naval infantry getting essentially shut out of the sky.
Yeah, Saint Salva guiding those missiles to the target,
Mm.
and Blitzwar is going to be getting a very good stranglehold into Bravo here. I do find it quite interesting that all the way up north, GrapeJelly Man is going for a little bit of a detour over the BTRTs in Tunguska.
Yeah, it's a pretty with so he's got the sappers and the BTRTs plus GRU in the BTR 90s and the Tunguska M. That's actually a lot of points rank deployed pretty far north into Bravo. When a lot of players on Grape Jellyman's perspective really don't mess with Bravo, especially when it's an Entente deck.
Yeah, like this is a really heavy investment for going around a detour. Blitzwall's gonna be prepared, well, not really prepared, he only has the Czech reserve infantry. They're really just meant to be a beacon and a slight roadblock to that invasion force.
Right.
But yeah, he's not going directly into Bravo, and just looking at the rest of the map, it's pretty light deployments from him. It's really all up north.
Yeah, that's a huge chunk of your starting points already invested up north. This Harris over here moving up, and it's going to probably spot this here pretty much any moment. So Blitzwar is going to be pretty well aware of that there is a little like a it actually gets his rockets off on the tongue. It does some HP to it, so it was going to die no matter what. It's kind of funny to see it get at least a little bit of damage in. So he
Yeah,
knows now. Yeah, and then in Foxtrot we see the GRU pushing up, VDV holding down in Golf, and it's kind of just like we say normally, Rang, a little bit of skirmishing going on in the middle of the map.
Yeah, usually people are pretty timid on a push in Foxtrot, especially early on, just because it's a usually decent amount of open ground between you and the enemy, and of course, opportunity of getting flanked from either the Bravo or Gulf side. So,
Right.
yeah, it's usually a more of a scarier prospect. But you usually see heavier fighting in Gulf, but really both sides is going to be setting up their deployments on opposite ends and just leaving it be. It's going to be all about this like little Bravo detour, which I'm really curious to see how well this will work, because that's a lot of time just going around that
Yes.
far northern flank. And
Yeah.
apart from like at 1 T-72, it's not a whole lot of ground-based firepower.
Yeah, and I also say, like, not to be over dramatic, I think this is going to be very important for the course of the game here, this attack. If this attack goes very poorly for the Grape Jelly Man, I think it puts him in a massive hole at a pretty early point in the game for no real investment. We do see that he has Cap Charlie, so he's getting that +2, but Blitzwar is basically on the same time frame here, and he's going to go ahead and cap Echo as well. So that won't really be a big advantage. This is a big investment in terms of elite infantry and time, like you said, Rang, going into Bravo.
Yeah, fortunately for GrapeJelly Man, Bravo isn't that well defended, apart from the Mechanovas. It's really just a lot of support weaponry. We are seeing, I believe, AGS infantry being brought in for some actually decent firepower, yeah. But oh, the T-72 does go down.
Yeah, CM2A actually engages an M84N right there. The recon, or I believe
I
that's the
didn't even
recon
see it.
M84N. Yeah, yeah. It's and he's got another one going in as well. He's got a Cub M4 for any anti-air, and then the Spetsnaz GRU are actually bogged down trading sniper shots at the Yugoslavian infantry in the house. So I think this attack's actually kind of going pretty poorly for the Grape Jelly Man.
Yeah, and he's bringing up reinforcements, mainly helicopters and some
Yeah.
ATGMs, and those helicopters are probably going to get blapped by the Saint Salvas and Bravo here.
Yeah, he has he has Silo, so he has Asava,
Oh
he has a
yeah.
couple for two Savas actually. So I really don't see how much damage these K29s can get. They are really powerful. They do have the one armor, but with anti-air already in play. Oh, though it does get the Silo right there. That's at least that is a nice little pick-off for him.
Yeah, it's not bad at all, but here we go, the Salvas are moving up to trying to engage, so their window of opportunity is going to be quite limited. We're seeing the Russian Marines move on through slowly and surely into Bravo, but yeah, dealing with Tyranny D4s without, well, he is actually getting up his ATGM troops is going to be difficult. Oh god, it's only Facatorias.
Yeah, the shot affected they'll be dealing with M84 ends. We do see a BVP also M80 about to unload some more infantry. Superior actually, some of the sappers getting cut down really fast there. Oh, and what's that shot incoming? Oh, we have a Jurgen shot incoming.
Yep.
Yeah, big shots coming in to try and stun those Mechanope, the Yugoslav infantry there. Pretty expensive buy there, Ring.
Yeah, he's investing really heavily into Bravo up here. Just a lot of forces, and usually Bravo's, it's actually a good idea to attack, but it can only really do you so much. It's very hard, especially from his end, to exploit Bravo once you capture it.
Right.
You can snipe across the canal with some ATGM infantry, but moving out of Bravo, saying the Foxtrot is kind of hard unless you have amphibious troops.
Yeah, down in Delta, Blitzwar actually sinks a Hera into the back line. Oh, it just goes down there to discredit it. So he does spot the BM-27. I don't think he got close enough to see the CV, the command infantry in Delta. So some little games are being played there on the flank for a moment.
Yeah. Yeah, so what's coming down in Bravo? One of the Urals, yeah, actually getting captured by the Mechinovas. The Russian Marine's gonna go. He better get. I hope he gets back to his lines, but most likely not.
No, and then the Russian Marines are going in pretty hot right there. They should be able to storm and take that complex. And this attack has kind of turned itself around here for the GrapeJelly Man. Though, on the downs... that MiG-21 getting shot out the sky right there by the Cub. Not enough ECM.
Nope.
Didn't know this is not Warno. And then you do see some more infantry coming in. So the 2M84 ends are actually holding down the flank here. So I still think Blitzwar has the ability to kind of hold this. But with more and more naval infantry with helicopter support coming, it's going to be a little difficult. Oh, is he going to take one down? Oh, he does take one.
He's so close to get the second.
Two guys surviving the impact there. Yeah, that's a nice, actually really nice pick there for Blitzwar.
Yeah, it's not been a good day to be a Russian helicopter pilot, that's for sure. Because he's lost some pretty decent units just due to St. Salvas. And yeah, Blitzwar still has a slight hold over Bravo. It's really just reserve infantry, but it's enough to buy him time. He's got the Czech half tracks moving along the northern sector of the map.
Right.
Really just to blap anything lightly armoured. Or really, there's nothing really armoured to blap. It's really just infantry at this point.
Right. Big thing there also is maybe the VDV should be in the helicopters ring, not the Marine troops.
Yeah, it's a bit more thematic.
They're not ready for the dropping out of the helicopter when it's on fire. It's going to the ground.
No, we're seeing the pram firing and actually hanging out in the middle of the lake, which is pretty
Cool.
Pretty cool. Yeah, I don't think a lot of the weapon systems would really work if you're in the water. You'd probably like recoil yourself like underwater eventually, but we'll just let it be a boat.
It's Yugoslav ingenuity. But we do see in this battle in Bravo is continuing to heat up, whereas the rest of the map is extremely quiet. Though while all this has been going on, Blitzwar has been able to get a CV and a Foxtrot and start a +1 tick. So it's kind of turning into a grind here, Rang, and I really think that suits Blitzwar, especially with the deck types.
Yeah, I just also think on how the map is set up, like for Blitzwar, Bravo is definitely more of his advantage. It's his sector to lose, really. Because he can grind down Bravo, and he can neutralize the other points easily, and just have it at 50-50. But it's pretty easy to... not pretty easy, but somewhat decent for him to fully capture Bravo, especially with the investment right now. So if he can nip this Russian force in the bud right now, he'll essentially have that middle sector completely under control, and that will, if things come down to CV wars, brings him that nice +1.
Yeah, and we see here the Tumdusky M actually in danger close mode trying to unload on the Proletary 90, but it gets blapped by the Apilas. And we see the Proletary 90 moving forward, engaging Marine Infantry. The Spetsnaz GRU, one whole squad's already dead. The other one's down to 1 HP. He's got his sniper, his RPG, and his AK-74 trying to get out of there right now. But it's I think this Bravo attack is really running out of its momentum.
Yeah, it's just a really hard supply line to reinforce, just because there's not really much of a road which directly leads you to Bravo from GrapeJelly Man's side, yeah, and just taking a lot of casualties to the servers.
Yeah, and at this point too, if you're Blitzwar, you probably can start thinking about if you want to, really put the pressure on Grape Jelly Man. You keep pushing, start getting ready to push in Foxtrot because we do see Grape Jelly Man's continuing to put more BTRDs going into Bravo. He's still got some stuff going along on the side. I think a counterattack into Foxtrot would actually break him here pretty soon. That's obviously the God vision that we have.
Yeah, because he just barely has anything else along the rest of the map. Really, just
Yeah.
a few recon and VDV scattered around, and he's taking heavy casualties up north in Bravo. I mean, just looking at the map, it's definitely much more red than it is blue currently.
Yeah, the Soviets are. This looks like the Soviet Union's collapse, and this is like 1993 Russia versus Tito here. So it doesn't look very. It's not very fair. Tito's going in hard, and we do see the M84Ns. They're pushing up as well. A T-72B89 has been brought up here for Grape Jelly Man, but I think the push into Bravo is dead, and he should maybe focus his efforts elsewhere at this time.
Yeah, it's just a losing battle trying to fight over Bravo at this point. Probably Goph would be his second best bet to attack, but
Yeah.
he's gonna be losing. He's already lost some momentum, let's be blunt here. So he's just gonna have to defend, I think, for a little bit and trade efficiently if he wants a chance of being able to hit back.
Yeah, and like you said right there, that's the big thing in a lot of Eugen games ring is when that momentum swings from one player to the other, it can be very difficult to get it back. And at this point in time, with so much red on the map here, I think that Blitzwar is in a very strong position moving forward. And Grape Jelly Man's really going to need, like you said, get some very efficient trades.
Yeah, and I mean, Blitzwar playing a mech deck does have really good map coverage because they have a lot of cheap stuff you can spam, especially if on Taunt mech, where you have some really good cheap units available to you with a decent amount of firepower. You can very easily just cover the entirety of Bravo with OTs, Mechanovas, M60, like transport units, etc., etc.
Yeah, and it's also like pushing into Bravo like against the mech player. It's just so difficult because if you enter into that grind phase, which is essentially happened, and we're kind of exiting it, I think, is that there's so much more infantry for the mechanized player, and if you keep trading out 1-to-1 with them, eventually you're going to run out when you're the general deck.
Yeah, especially Russia. Like Russia has decent infantry. I mean, the VDV-90s are top tier, but they're somewhat are they somewhat expensive? 25 points isn't too bad.
Points. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't get a whole lot of them. Like, same thing with, like, the US deck. They don't have the best infantry options for fighting other infantry, grinding them down. You get some good specialized troops, but not so much in the grind down, especially compared to a bunch of angry Yugoslavs with MG42s.
Yeah, but two here is the Jurgen call out, and I think this is probably the third game in a row, Rang, that we've casted where somebody's invested into a heavy artillery piece, and I once again question, was it worth it, and was the investment worth it at the time? Because a lot of times these 1v1s, it just doesn't feel like they quite ever get the pivotal shots that you want, and you end up spending a lot of points that could have been infantry, could have been armor, could have been helicopters to really support the front, and they kind of just don't ever seem to equal out.
Yeah, I mean, it's also hard to, like, judge whether it's been, like, useful or not. They usually don't get a lot of kills. It's, like, the stunning effect and whatnot. Well, compared to, like, an ATGM plane, it's like, oh, I used 120-point plane to kill 160-point tank. Math makes me good. Yeah. But yeah, no, I do agree, it's usually heavy artillery pieces never pay themselves off in a 1v1 unless you're playing against someone who's using a lot of soft targets.
Like, you really have to line the shots up well, and that's a lot. Like, these are two really good players going at it here, and then once like Blitzwar's entrenched here, the Jurgen, there's not enough follow-up, I think, for it, and that's just, the nature of how the engagements have gone. And we see here in Foxtrot, actually, Spetsnaz GRU sniping at the drug. He might actually get it.
He might. It's quite interesting seeing Grape Jelly Man use the T-72B. He's gotten a lot of kills of it. I mean, it's almost out of bloody ammunition. So this could be, I mean, once again, against mech decks, you usually have the armor advantage. So Entente mech is pretty scary of the M84 ANs. So it's if GrapeJelly Man can use his heavy tanks, his T-72Bs effectively,
Right.
he can slowly but surely kind of crawl himself out of this rut he's gotten himself into.
Yeah, I think that's like you talked about there. Like the best advantage is if you can take your heavy armor and really utilize the armor superiority that you can have. The problem, like you said, is that with Entente Mech is that M84As and M84ANs are very scary in their own right. So it's kind of hard to flex that armor advantage. But he does have one. But I think he's going to continue fighting in Bravo, right? There's more BTR, there's more Skrezets, there's more Superi coming in. The MX24K is actually engaging the Saba, and it dies. Well, 110 points just right down the drain there.
Yeah, I never really been a big fan of those MI24Ks. Oh, the Book is getting so close.
Yeah, he got really lucky there. Really lucky.
Yeah, those drugs must have been a little bit drugged up.
Yeah, they've been partying a little too hard in Sarajevo.
They party very hard in Sarajevo.
Sounds like a really bad weekend.
Anyway, I do like the Foxtrot push here from GrapeJelly Man. I think that's a really good angle to try to attack onto because it gives him a little bit of fire support into Bravo from that angle. But he is trying to push into Hill, and I think that's possible for him with his armor advantage. He just needs a little bit more infantry to back him up.
Yeah, he needs support for it because the T-72. Like, I agree with you. The Foxtrot push could be really effective here, especially if you can get onto the ridgeline and push Blitzwar off of it. The problem is that the T-72 running against Proletary 90 is that's not a winning formula for it. Yeah. So he needs to reinforce it. And at the same time, he's continuing to put troops into Bravo, and it's costly, especially when there's no, I think, realistic chance of winning the Bravo sector anymore.
Yeah, really his best bet in Bravo is just bring in some Superis, hide them in the forest, and then sneak a CV in to neutralize it, and just play for the cap.
And there we go. So we were talking about the M84A. It's an absolute beast. It's what makes the Entente mechanized deck so powerful. For 95 points, you can get a tank with 19 AP.
Yeah,
like it's just very strong, and the T-72
and it's
D
fast.
Down there. Yeah,
like 75 kilometers. That's fast for a tank of that caliber.
Yeah, it's between that and then the recon variant. It's very good armor for a mechanized deck, which typically don't have horrible armor. It's not motorized here, but that gives them quite the punch.
Yeah, penetrating more KA-29s being brought in here, and another T-74B to reinforce. I wonder how these KA-29s will do. There's not a whole lot of anti-air in the center, so he does have the opportunity to rocket some things to death.
Yeah, actually, looking here into the center, if he committed these KA-29s, he could do a lot of damage. There's a lot of soft targets. The CV's pretty unprotected. I don't see a silo. There's a Cub M4 on the back side there, but you really don't want your Cub shooting down KA-29s.
No. This could actually work really well.
Actually, yeah, if he senses the moment here, that's the problem. We have the vision. We can see there isn't any AA. I think if you're GrapeJelly Man, you just send it here. You have to understand that you're kind of behind. Just commit.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
he's gonna back him up.
Blitzwar is 200 points in the lead right now, so he is in a fantastic position considering almost at the halfway point at the match. Oh, the CV is going to be shooting and it's going to expose himself. Grape does realize that and is going to smartly redeploy. Another Oregon charge.
Yeah, I really feel like their GrapeJelly Man missed an opportunity to kind of get himself back in the game. It's just I get me. Especially when I play Steel Division, I feel like I suicide units too many times when I feel like I need to get ahead. But there was nothing there in front of him to stop that KA-29 hit squad right there, rolling 3 deep.
Yeah.
You're going opening up.
You don't really... And River's deck, he doesn't really have like cheap infantry spam which he can use for just like testing the enemy lines.
Right. Yeah, we actually see the MI24D 2 rank going far side with it. Is he trying to sneak some GRU around the map?
Oh.
But it's already spotted.
Yep. And some KA-29s.
Yeah, the game's already up right there in terms of and there's a T-55 K1 tank actually CV coming up for golf too. So Blitzwar is going to have a CV in all of the major sectors of contention, and he's gonna get the +2 back here pretty soon. I don't see any Is there no AA covering that position? No. So the K-29s might be able to come in and get damage done again. They really could get on this backside here. That CV in Foxtrot is really exposed, but I don't know if he'll commit to it.
Yeah, and he doesn't really have much recon backing up if those helicopters are actually
Right.
spot and kill anything, really. And the Mi-24s keep running into these roadblocks of... Well, it's not much of a roadblock when you have a Yak-B cannon.
Right. No, it'll tear up those reserve infantry. The reserve infantry, given it, they're shooting their whatever their gun is down there. They're popping little shots.
No damage, actually.
Hey, they were game.
Yeah.
Didn't mean they were efficient, but they went down fighting. There was no surrenders here. But we do see the VDV here actually getting caught out in the open, getting pushed up into golf, and then the BVP, the MAD there just tearing into him. Oh, he actually gets him inside. GrapeJelly might get a little lucky there.
Yeah. And that's going to be a great position for his VDVs, so if he can line them up along the road, you can really just start blapping with the RPG-29.
Yeah, and Blitzwar actually just decides to evacuate the dance floor right there. Though he gets caught in the open there by the K-29. One of the BVP is going down. The K-29 reloading here, seeing the rest of the rockets with the finish. Oh, but the Sava opening up here. Or he's going to lose it to the Sava. Yeah.
It was Savas. It's just absolutely nutty.
Yeah, they've been really real big MVPs here for Warno player in the course of this game.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if he played in the Warno tournament today.
I wonder if he plays Warno.
I don't know. Might have to check out his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And we see GrapeJelly Man actually committing more units to Bravo rank, 3 BTRTs with sappers, and then some BTRDs, which I actually don't know what he has in those. Off the top of my head. BTR
BTRTs?
Yeah, his BTRDs. He's got some more. BTRTs got the sappers in them.
Oh, VDV and the BTRDs.
Yeah, VDV. Yeah.
VDV. Imagine being transported in a BTR. It's like a bloody pancake.
Yeah, I feel like if I'm like the VDV, that means like I'm the shitty VDV company if I'm in the BTRD, right? Like I'm not in the BMP4, I'm not in the MI-24, or even like in the MI-8. Like I'm in a BTRD.
Yeah. Like lie down in that thing considering the headspace.
Yeah, I feel like it's a really shitty day in Eastern Europe if that's what I'm in.
Yeah.
We do see the VDV actually pushing up in a full committal here into Foxtrot by the GrapeJelly Man. MI-24 opening up, Rock's getting let loose, Skrezit pushing as well. But I'm not sure how much steam. I mean, if he commits, but they're running out really low in their rockets there, so they actually can only commit. Oh, and the silo from the back line getting a pick on one K-29, the second one targeting as well at the MI-24D. Look at that.
Yeah.
Missiles killing helicopters? Who would have thought?
No way. That's weird. That can't happen. If this was Warner, it'd take like 5 missiles to kill those helicopters.
I didn't know Warner existed. I thought it was a myth. No, and we see MA4A actually pushing back in Foxtrot after getting weapons jammed. But I think this attack's kind of stalling out here, Rang.
Yeah. It's just the uphill position can be hard to attack, especially if the enemy just has so much infantry to slow you down, and rocket launchers, even crappy runs, can, scare off any tank whatsoever. And he only has that one T-72B, so if he does go up, I mean, yeah, the Proletary do have the... I think it's the M90 is an appealer. Or some weird thing. Okay,
it's or close to it. Yeah. Also, I think the Jurgen would have been better used right there. As he's committing his infantry forward with his armor, the Jurgen shots into the backline infantry there, I think could have been really effective. Maybe it disable, stuns the silos and his helicopters could do a little more, but instead I think he's kind of forgotten about it a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually, no. As I say that, it's targeting something.
And also just his helicopters come in, they do a little bit of damage, but of course Yugoslavia is pretty strong. Oh, T-72B, side armor. Okay, faces correctly, but we're seeing the M84 pissing hard.
And he is exposed there with almost down to half his HP, down to 3 right there. Shots coming in as the Jurgen tries to unload here, but the shots are a little off. They're not going to hit the CV, but they do kill some poor Yugoslav infantry just chilling in a forest line.
Yeah, this could be a really good commit here, but no, Smoke does manage to block the ray for the T-72.
Oh, no, he's going to send it. Blitzwar's going to just send it right onto it. The GRU open up there. They get massacred by the VVP, and now you're going to have M84A versus T-72B hot one-on-one action up close and personal.
Oh! There we go.
The T-72 went hard. He died game there, but M84A getting the kill there, second time that's happened in the game so far. And I think that's probably the last real big push you can see out of the GrapeJelly man here.
Yeah, I mean, you're seeing up north, Blitzwar does have that AN in a rather OP position, covering the canal road, yeah.
OP.
And you know, that thing's never going to get spotted. They managed to fit a really big suppressor on that 120mm gun.
The only thing that's going to save him there is unless these VDV here singing their song, they're going to roll right up here with some RPG 29 action. But the M84 actually sees him. Oh, but the side shot comes out and it just gets blapped right there by the VDV 90. So he might be able to get this T80 UK in there, which is crazy expensive.
Oh god, he is bringing out a T80. Yeah, that is. Oh, he's going to bring it up north. That feels like a little bit wasted.
Oh, but the Super Gleb's actually coming out, so he sees it. He has vision on the T80 UK. SU-7 flying top cover for Seed. Oh, but it doesn't even matter because the bucket's annihilated by the T-55. So the Super Gleb's going to come in here and see if we can get a pick. Missiles are away. It's fire and forget.
Oh!
T-80 UK actually tanking one. The other missile going off into the side, but you got to say the game is up there for the T-80 UK. He's been spotted. He's damaged. I don't think he's going to make it to the forest line.
No, and as you can see, with the infantry now popping out, even trying to charge that T-80 UK, desperate to get the rockets off.
Well, I mean, now you gotta just wonder, is he trying to just keep it spotted for another plane to come in?
Yeah.
But that T-80 UK is like in full reverse right there, down to 3 HP. Honestly, Blitzwar doesn't need to buy a plane to go deal with it. Because he's pretty much out of the fight.
Yeah, it's as long as he's not capping anything, it's a useless tank.
Yeah.
And we're seeing in Charlie, Blitzwar is moving up some proletaries and the T-55 around, and it's not really much of a counterattack, but it's a good reconnaissance push. Just gonna be really causing a lot of damage here for the GrapeJelly man.
Yeah, they're 25-point recon T-55s. You really don't care if they die, right? But you get some value out of what he already has. You kind of probe the front line, and I mean, what Blitzwar is seeing here is there's nothing really in front of him. The middle's been pretty much broken. Well, that T-UK is still going for it, but it is spotted in the Super Glebs coming in here.
Sending it.
Yeah, missiles are away, and that's it. That's all she wrote there. T-UK blowing up. The Russians better really hope this isn't foretelling the future. It's a 27M went in to try and clear out the air, but he was a little too late there. And then once again, that's a very expensive. So a T-80 UK and an SU-27M to end the game there. Very expensive units. Oh, an L-18 actually coming out to try and challenge it for the air. But it doesn't matter.
And look at Golf, it is completely overrun here.
Yep.
Blitzwar pushing right on through. And that's pretty much it, yeah, for the GrapeJelly man. He's pretty much buggered.
I think the expensive units right there, that's 400 plus points between those two units there. I mean, I don't even think there's 400 plus points pushing the front here for Blitzwar. So there's just a lot of points in very specific high value units that if they don't get massive amounts of return for, your front's just going to break.
Yeah, it's kind of like the weird problem with USSR general decks and 1v1s is that they do have some really bloody good units, but they use the expensive super units. Where usually in 1v1s, like on Tourney, for example, just cheap, good enough spam is good enough.
Yeah, no, I think so too. And then with Entente Mech as well, like the armor, the ability to have almost armor parity for such a huge portion of the game, with against most decks, just makes it so so intense. They have a great air force. They have a good support tab. Their infantry tab's essentially unlimited with lots of different choices and variety. Like here we see the napalm bomber's actually going to come in here. I don't know what he's bombing. Maybe he's bombing something for fun. Oh, he's bombing the FOB. That's disrespect. MiG-25 PD actually coming out here trying to get a kill, but it actually misses all of its missiles with the MiG-29. Oh, no, he was going for the Jurgen.
Oh, he misses, yo.
He was trying to snipe because the GrapeJelly man hadn't moved it. Yeah, he did miss it. Wow, BM.
BM indeed, but Blitzwar is going to get the victory here from points, it seems. He's just pushing all over. I do like that Northern Bravo push just due to the ballsiness of it. I don't think he needed that Tunguska, especially against Entente. They're not really known for scary helicopters. If that was invested in more ground support units, I think it would have went a bit better. But just, And also, this is a problem with USSR generals, it's the lack of spam infantry. I mean,
Right.
VDV are good, but you're really just bringing them up to blow up tanks. They're decent against infantry, but you're not like 10, 15 point spam. And the Motor
Right.
Strecklys are mediocre at spam.
Yeah, my big thing is I think the Foxtrot push suits his deck better. Like I think that GrapeJelly Man takes his push instead of fighting, on Entente mech in an infantry dominant area of the map. If he pushes Foxtrot with his superior armor, superior firepower, because he had that, he had the BM-27, he has the better T-72s, he has extremely powerful infantry with good helicopter support. I think maybe a mortar, a little bit of smoke action, and pushing up into Foxtrot could have really done some, really changed that game.
Yeah, it's just a misallocation of resources and locations to attack, especially bringing up a lot of helicopters against bloody Yugoslavia
Right,
is not
it's
a
hard.
good idea.
Yeah, no, their ATAB is very potent, and it's just if you overextend with your kilos by any little amount, they're typically going down in Wargame.
Yeah, yeah, and it's quite difficult. Yeah, but yeah, Rorno player Blitzwar does take the victory. Classic mech power, right? Yeah,
Mech power, baby.
just overrun the enemy with too many targets. I mean, that first T-72 almost did run out of ammunition, essentially.
Yeah, just killing some. I really want to see Baltic Front. I want a Baltic Front mech versus an Entente mech. Let's see it go down.
Oh, there we go. You heard the man, folks. But apart from that, do you have anything else to say, Mr. Graham?
No, man, it's been a lot of fun. Good cast. Two great players in the community. A lot of fun. I'm excited to be back next week.
Cool. Lovely jubbly in. Well, thank you very much for watching, guys. And as usual, please just take it easy.